First method is called individual face-to-face interview. So the one-to-one visit with the user to obtain the information. So it may be structured or it may be open-ended type. A formal questionnaire should not be used. So here, so useful topics to ask the user to describe in an interview, which includes the activity performed in completing a task or achieving a goal. So the method used to perform an activity, what interaction exists with the other people or the systems. It is also very useful to uncover any potential measure of system usability, unmentioned exception to standard policies and procedures, relevant knowledge the user must possess to perform the activity. So next is telephonic interview or the survey. It's a structured interview conducted via telephone. Usually we are arranging the interview in advance to allow the user to prepare for it, which is less expensive and invasive than the personal interviews. The main disadvantages is it is impossible to gather contextual information such as description of working environment. Our replies may be easily influenced by the interview comments. Body language cues are all missing in this case. Next is traditional focus group. A very small group of users and a moderator brought together to verbally discuss the requirement. So the purpose of focus group is to probe the user's experience, attitude, beliefs, desire to obtain their reactions to ideas or prototypes. Setting up a focus group which involves the following. You have to establish the objective of the session, select the participants representing the typical user or the potential user. You have to write the script for the moderator to follow it, and find the skilled moderator to facilitate the discussion to ensure that the discussion remains focused to the relevant topic. Allow the moderator flexibility in using the scripts. Take the good notes like session recordings for backup and clarifications. Facilitated team workshop is another direct method. Facilitated structured workshop held with the user to obtain the required information similar to the traditional focus group. Like the focus group, they do require a great deal of time to organize and run. Next is our observational field study. So users are observed and monitored for an extended time to learn what they do. Observation provides a good insight into the task being performed. So the working environment and the condition, the social environment and the working practices. Observation, however, it's a time consuming and expensive. Video recording of the observation session will permit the detailed task analysis. Next is requirements prototyping, that is a demo or a early prototype that is to be presented to the user at the clients for comments concerning functionalities. Next, user interface prototyping. This is also a demo or a early prototype which is presented to the user to uncover the user interface issues and problems. Next, usability laboratory testing. User at work are observed, evaluated, and measured in a specially constructed laboratory in order to establish a usability of the product at that time in. So usability tests uncover what people actually do, not what they think they do, a common problem with the verbal descriptions. Then last is called card sorting for the website. It is actually a technique to establish a grouping of information for website. So these are some of the direct methods we have come across in business definition and requirement analysis. So the indirect methods are listed here. So an indirect method of requirement determinations is one that places an intermediate between the developer and the user. So the intermediary may be either electronic or another person. So the methods are problems. See, first we will see the problems using of indirect methods, and we will see the methods. First problem is there may be a filtering or distortion of message, either intentional or unintentional. Next, intermediary may not possess a complete or current understanding of user needs. Finally, the intermediary may be a mechanism that discourage direct user developer contact for political reasons. So these are some of the drawbacks or problems associated with the indirect methods. The methods are MIS intermediary. A company representative will define the user goal and the needs to the designer and developer. Second, we can go with the paper survey and the questionnaire. That is administered to a sample of users using traditional mail methods to obtain their needs. Next is electronic survey or the questionnaire. A survey or questionnaire which is administered by a sample of user using email or web to obtain their needs. You can go with either electronic survey to define the objects or survey objectives, all those things, or iterative survey. You can consider it. Next is electronic focus group. A small group of users and a moderator, they will discuss the requirement online using the workstations. So next is marketing and sales. Company representative who regularly meet the customer in order to obtain the suggestion, needs, current problems or potentials, all those things. Next is support line. So the information collected by the unit that help the customer with day-to-day problems. Either it is a customer support or technical support or the help desk. Next is email bulletin board. So problems, queries, suggestions from the users, usually that will be posted to a bulletin board or through a email, which can be analyzed. Next is user group. Improvements are suggested by the customer group who convene periodically to discuss the software usage. They require careful planning. So competitive analysis, a review of competitive product or the website used to gather the idea to uncover the design requirements and identify the task. Next is other trade show. So the customer at a trade show are presented a mock-up or prototype and ask for the comment. Other media analysis, an analysis of how other media, print, broadcast, present the process, information, or the subject matter of interest. Last is system testing. A new requirement and feedback are obtained from ongoing product testing requirement guidelines.